I started playing squash when I was probably about 5 years old, 4 or 5 years old. My dad really got into squash in his early 20s. I think it was a sort of a boom phase in the 80s. This is mid 80s we're talking now, and he played at Bishop Stortford Squash Club, and it was so busy. I mean, it had 5 or 6 courts at the time, 5 courts at the time, and any evening you went down, any evening of the week, you just put your name on the board, no booking system, and it's whatever next court comes available, you're up, and it's like money in the meter, maximum 40 minutes. And so everyone waits their turn. I remember there being 12 to 14 pairs of people waiting as a waiting list for courts. So you could be waiting, you know, like an hour and 20 minutes, 2 hours sometimes. And the guys would wait, sit in the bar, have a chat, wait for looking like when their court's going to come on. And they were the days that I would sneak on, and for that 1 or 2 minutes in between while people were swapping courts, I'd go and hit for like 1 or 2 minutes, and that was it, and then back off again. And then I'd pray for the day that there would be there'd be no names on the board, and I'd know that there'd be a court with no lights on, so I could just go and practice. And that happened a few times, but not many, because it was so busy in those days. But yeah, and then started junior morning on Saturdays, so I could play with the lights on. And yeah, took it from there really. Played a lot of football when I was younger, a lot of cricket, real mix of sports, which I think has stood me in good stead for, well, injury-wise. Touch wood, I've never had too many serious injuries in terms of squash, so I've been able to play like 11 years without too many injuries, and I think that's all come down from playing football and cricket and other sports. Gives you a good grounding and strengthens the legs and you learn to move in different ways, and that was good. I mean, plus playing lots of different sports, you just get to experience playing in a team and winning and losing together, winning and losing on your own, and I think it just gives you a lot of good experience for becoming a professional player. And yeah, did the national squads all the way through juniors with James, and myself and James were like 8 years old when we did our first under 10 national squad. They had under 10 national squads then, with Pete as well, actually, Pete Barker. So yeah, 3 of us back then. And yeah, I was runner up to James all the way through juniors. He was, fantastic talent then. His squash was always too good for me physically. I thought I could challenge him and run around him and do him on fitness or something when I was younger, but he was just too accurate. His squash was too good for me at that age. So I learnt a lot from playing him, and enjoyed playing him when he was younger. Enjoy playing him now. But yeah, they were my early days, and then I went to university, studied for 3 years, played barely any squash really. Played a lot more football. Was playing football 4 or 5 times a week, and a bit of semi-pro stuff, getting paid, and that was a tempting avenue to go down, but it was something, I guess, that footballs are full of nasty characters, and there's a lot of not so nice people that are prepared to break your legs to further themselves. And squash was something that I always thought about getting back into. And then when I was coming to the end of my 3rd year, I thought, I looked at always sort of kept an eye on squash, kept an eye on how Pete was doing, and saw that those guys, James and Pete, were doing well in the world rankings, and thought, well, I'd like to have a go at that. I saw the guys that I used to play juniors with, LJ, Borker, sort of climbing up the rankings, and so yeah, decided to go pro and train for like the last few months of uni, started playing a bit more, and then went from there really.